Okay, so we got the wing on. It's not secured yet. We haven't screwed it in, but it's on. I want to show you real quick how we had to remove the accessory hat. It comes off here. Zoom out so I see what's going on here. Okay, anyway, we had to pull the hatch off so we could get to the wires, because you have to pull the wires. I don't know if I can get the camera up in here. Got to pull your wires through, which can be difficult or challenging sometimes when trying to get into tight spaces, such as underneath the wing as you're putting it together, because of the length of the wires. So that's why we stopped filming, because we needed a couple hands to do that. And now it's 4 screw holes. 4 screws, tighten down snug, and wing will be attached. And we'll be good. It's looking pretty good. Coming along quickly. And then it'll be into the paint shop with it. Huh, Josh? So we're going to check the ESC. So we're going to pull the cowling off real quick. This comes off, held together with a couple magnets in here, one on each side. Very nice setup. Underneath here is a port where my finger's going, and this is where the wires from the motor come down, and in that little hole is where the ESC lives. This is your ESC. Okay. That's what controls the speed of the motor, electronic speed control, ESC. Okay, so we checked it, it looks good, wire connections are good, just a quick inspection. Make sure the motor connections are nice and tight, and put it back in. Okay, you always want to inspect everything. It's nice that these things come somewhat pre-assembled. And you'll see that there's a wire here that's connected to the ESC, throttle control, which is going to go into the receiver. The power on this goes from the battery through the ESC to the receiver. That's the type of model we have on here. I'm just going to put the cowling back on. Okay, nice snug fit. We're good. Alright, back again. We got the receiver hooked up and bound to the radio. We didn't show that. You can look that up on YouTube for yourself if you like. What we're doing now is we're putting some Velcro tabs on the bottom of this, 2 little round discs. So that'll hold it in place in the airplane, and if we ever need to remove it, we can simply pull it off. Okay, and now we put the fuzzy sides on here, so if you're ever working on it on the table or whatever, you got the nice fuzzy side down on the receiver. And the way to do this is now to put the claspy side, the other side of the Velcro tape, right onto the pads that are there, kind of stick them together. And then you push the whole unit as one piece down in, and that way you don't have to struggle trying to line up the pads or anything like that. It'll just go right in where you want it. Okay. Yeah, you want to get those good and lined up, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we found a nice little niche here in the body of this plane where this is going to sit into.
Right there, right?
Yep, just like that. That looks good. Remember, support the bottom of the plane when pushing down on it so you don't snap your airframe in half. It is only foam. Okay, and you want your wire leads in an L shape. The wires from your receiver going in an L shape. Okay, so that way the long wire is going to go this way. Okay, so that's in. Very good. Now we'll take a wire tie and we'll bind all these wires together right here nice and neatly so they're out of the way and it makes a nice clean compartment. Okay, so here we are, we're back again, and we're putting on the control horns now, which we've already did this one here. You can see the control horn connected to the rod. Made sure that the rudder's in neutral position there. And here's one of the control horns and how they look. We put the screws through already, but we have to put those on. So when we do that, we put a dab of glue behind it so it's glued and screwed, because you definitely don't want any of these coming off in flight. You lose one of these in flight and you lose control of your aircraft. So putting a little bit of glue on is always an extra safety measure that we like to do. And you just basically screw them on with a little bit of glue. Pretty simple, straightforward little thing there. On this plane, it was the rudder and elevators that needed those on. The ailerons came pre-installed, which was kind of nice. Saved us a little bit of work. And another thing you want to do too, also, and I heard about this, I think everybody says this, put a piece of tubing around here, which we don't have with us today. We're going to have to get some, but you just slide it over here, which prevents these clasps from opening up during flight should you get a heavy wind or something that may want to pull them loose. Just a little safety precaution, either small zip ties or rubber tubing that will snugly fit over that. Okay? And Josh here is getting that one set, and after that we'll do the next one. And this plane is pretty much ready to fly. Doesn't take much, comes with a bunch of stickers, comes pre-painted, nice color, nice look. We are into modeling, so we are going to paint this thing, and I think Josh's scheme that he wants to do is like a gloss black with flames coming out down the sides and down the cowling. So we'll get some video of that a little bit later on as that's in progress. Alright, so I think that's it for today's build. Also, a quick note real quick while we're here, if you take a close look by Josh's fingers, you can see that the screws are protruding pretty good, like a 1/4 of an inch out the top. That's okay. We're going to cut them off. You don't want to leave it like that because it'd snag on something. But it's always better to just take some snips and snip them off. They snip pretty easy. It's like some little wire cutters or something like that. I don't recommend grinding them off with like a Dremel or cutting wheel or anything like that, because that'll cause the screw to get hot, and the plane is just foam, and then it'll start to melt and it'll make a big hole. So that's no good. So use wire cutters or snips to cut those off. Okay, so as I was saying, just snap them off here. We're going to show you little tiny wire cutters. Good. Always want to cover the tip with your hand closely so it doesn't go flying in your face. Okay, because it will shoot off. There it is. Snap, snap. Nice and clean. Very simple.